online global network called 764, which wants governments toppled and the world in chaos.
Two explosives in front of Rockville High School, okay? And if they fail to detonate, I'm just going to shoot every kid I see, okay?
Unidad para indigentes 10-1 para que trasladen al compañero que lleva las llaves de los candados.
Hello everybody, welcome to this video, and I imagine everyone has heard of Discord at least once in their life, a platform where you can talk to your friends online and even meet new ones by joining a ton of different servers on Discord. But what has caught my attention is a group known as 764, which is a hate group who has been terrorizing young teens and children in Discord and other social media sites with the acts of doxing, blackmailing, and even crimes like murder. Now, you might be wondering, how can an online group that call themselves 764 be terrorizing young kids and children, doing all these different crimes, and even being on FBI's watch list right now? So we are going to get into the topic of that and talk about what this group has done. Welcome to the video of the dark side of Discord and its servers. Let's get right into this video. Now, before we get into the group known as 764, I want to really give a heads up before this video starts. This video does get really sensitive, and I try to almost like suppress the, you know what I mean? I keep it clean for the most part. I don't name anybody and tell their experience. I kind of go mainly what this group does. We talk about self-harm, suicide in this video, animal abuse, just all types of very dark stuff, but I want to give you guys the truth of what this group is doing and the horrible things they are actually doing. But before we talk into how bad this neo-Nazi satanic group is, we need to really talk where it started.
And then there's a space so evil.
Humanity at its worst. That's what it is.
So this group started with a 15-year-old boy who is hanging around a group known as Cult. So it's spelled C-V-L-T, and they are a hate group, basically like 764. They aren't as bad as 764 is. Like I said, there are a ton of these groups. 764 is just the head of the rank in my opinion, and clearly in the FBI's opinion, because they I'm not even going to say, we'll talk about it later. I don't want to spoil everything now, of course, but they do have hundreds of cases actively going on with 764 and the terrors they are causing online. But a 15-year-old boy would be hanging around the group known as Cult, self-harm group, and they would meet on the game known as Minecraft. And this group, they would basically take him in, and online, this group is also wanted to add that these groups are totally online. They are not going out, and you hear these things about self-harm. They are not going to do these, and they are strictly online telling these kids to do this to themselves. I'm not even going to show this kid's face or show his mugshot because it is online, because I don't want to give these people what they want is attention, and I don't want to give that to them because they don't deserve it. This is horrible what they do. But from this cult group, this 15-year-old boy learned how to manipulate and make these kids do self-harm through blackmail and just targeting their mental health because they're in a bad spot. Yes, from this, he was so interested in this idea of making people hurt themselves and do these terrible things to others. He would create his own group known as 764. And he picked 764, the name, because that is his area code in Texas. And with his group, with him already having connections to Cult, his group, of course, started to rise, and the violence of this group got very bad very quick.
They extort children into cutting their wrist, hurting themselves, cutting areas of their body, engraving their names into their chests, their legs, their arms, their faces.
764, it seems their only goal is to really hurt anyone they can, as much people they can, just straight destruction. Even the FBI really saying they don't have an end goal. They just want to harm anyone they can. And their target audience for their victims are young kids and teens from age 10 to 17. And when you dig into the rabbit hole of this group, it's truly, I know I already said it's very sad, but if you really look in some of these cases of what these people have talked these people into doing by blackmail, and hey, what I mean by blackmail is them going, hey, just a quick example, if you don't do this thing, send photos of things, or self-harm yourself, we're going to come find you. And they send their address or SWAT them, which SWAT means basically sending the police to them. And honestly, before I started this video, I didn't know what to call this group. I didn't know if to call them a cult, a gang, a criminal organization. But a lot of people just basically call them a neo-Nazi satanic group because that already sounds terrible, but that's what they are. They're a bunch of neo-Nazis, and they're satanic. They do a ton of satanic stuff. Now, when I talk about what this group actually does, I'm going to go into a little more detail. I know I said what they do, but I'm going to be going into how they target these kids and manipulate them, and the certain method, really disturbing things they have them do. So these people in 764, and they do have other groups. There's a group called No Lives Matter, and they basically do the same thing, manipulate kids, but 764 seems to take it very far. Of course, all of it's taken serious, but you know what I'm trying to say. They enjoy targeting groups that, actually Discord servers that are for mental health and people who feel hopeless in life. People that, you know what I'm saying, there's certain groups like, certain depression groups that people join trying to get help. And hey, I feel horrible in life, even though I'm such a young kid, I have a lot of problems. And instead of going to therapy, a lot of them go to talk to people online, which a lot of these groups do try to help. But that is where 764 joins these groups and really tries to manipulate them. Starts by acting like friends, and then our relationship partner gets photo of these person, and then starts blackmailing them, making them click links, getting their address. Ton of terrible stuff. That's why this group is, if you look a lot online, a lot of them are being arrested for, of course, the grooming, but also having they are groomers and having photos of underage children, which is a serious, very serious crime, as you would think. How they really get these kids to self-harm themselves, like I said, SWAT, and then so they'll threaten them with the address, and then the victim feels trapped and keeps doing whatever the members want them to do. A big thing these people really enjoy, and I actually learned this off a friend who was not, he was not actively in this group, but he knew people that was in it, and they invited him to a Discord, and sadly I have not had any, he does not have any screenshots of what these group servers, you could see in these servers, what kind of stuff they were doing, but I heard some stories I cannot share on YouTube because these people are really terrible. A big thing they like to do is something called fan siding. And fan siding, of course, I can't go into crazy detail and show examples online because it's pretty bad. 764 enjoys to get these people, and they'll make them whatever the 764 members their username is on Discord. They'll have the person carve their username into their body with a sharp object. Also, I put this in the fan signing category, they'll have them harm their pets, and after they do, which is terrible, this one really affects me, and even the fan signing one really affects me, they'll have them hold up the pet and then put their username on a piece of paper as a trophy almost. It's very disturbing and uncomfortable to hear about, honestly. But it's really crazy to think this group, a lot of these people who were doing this to each other these are children doing this to children. There was a few sites talking about how it's actually some of the people who joined 764 are victims themselves of 764. Incredibly sad, but there is some grown people that if you look up, there's big time leaders of the group who have been arrested. At first, when I learned about this group, I only thought it was the US's issue. It's all over. It's in Germany, Australia, all these countries, UK have this group causing so many issues for them, and it's all online, which is crazy to me. But this online cult has done a lot of terrible things. They've been connected to a lot of terrible things. Mass murders, school shootings, recording murders, which I have seen one online when I was doing research for this video. I don't recommend going in the rabbit hole. It's terrible. These people are crazy. It is nuts what these people will do for a group on the internet. But the FBI has said they're investigating them and have 300 ongoing investigation of these members, and they are labeled as a terrorist threat. And they are tier 1, which is not good at all. And I'm happy that they are being taken down for what they have done to people. And like I said, this is being taken very serious by people. There's people on the news talking about, I saw this one girl who she said it was just she living it rough and like having a hard life as a teenager. A lot of teens go through mental health crisis. She was targeted by this group. Lucky for her, she did not end her life, or these people have made her done terrible things, though, that I imagine is really hard to talk about. But a lot of people have been arrested. The connections, like this 20-year-old man in New Jersey who was been arrested because he was blackmailing kids for photos and also connected to planning terrorist attack. Thankfully, none of these terrorist attacks went out there, but he was sure planning it. Now, what is also pretty strange, I did not know what 764 was until a few months ago, and that is when it's actually pretty weird connection. The Minneapolis school shooter who shot up that church, the same shooter who would write very dark phrases on their gun, like "Where's your God?" and they would even put like memes on the clips, clearly something very off in this person's head. But it is weird. You can find articles online saying this, and I even saw it on the news when the school shooting happened. They feel this person had connections. This is still a theory, of course, but they do believe this person could have had connections to 764. But there are real examples of people with connections to 764. You can find 911 calls, and I heard one of a person saying, "Hey, we have a bomb in the school." Of course, it wasn't true, but these people do make threats, and a lot of these people, the 764 actually goes out. Honestly, guys, my message for anybody, I know I didn't go too deep into this group, or I kind of gave like a brief, I gave a really brief summary of this group, but if you guys want me to go deeper into this group, if you guys enjoy these videos, just let me know. But honestly, my message is for teens and parents. Watch who your kids are talking to on apps like Discord and social media, or even video games like Roblox and Minecraft, because this 764, this group does target young victims off these games and start messaging to them and take the conversation to apps like Discord and websites like Discord, of course. But this group, as they're being locked down by the FBI pretty bad, but of course they are still around. So I know it's hard, just watch who you guys talk to online. If someone tells you click a link, just don't click a link, and don't feel trapped by these people. I know it's hard, but you know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to help you guys look out, because this is really disturbing, and they seem to like to target anybody yet. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a great time making it, and just to help, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a pretty interesting topic and pretty disturbing, honestly. So I want to say, stay positive, guys. Chase your dreams. I'll see you guys in the next video. I love all my supporters and very grateful for you all. See you guys next time.